What's up, beautiful people? In this video, I'm gonna show you one of the most beneficial plants that not only you can eat, but you would like to grow, and you should grow in your fall garden. Let's get to it. What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 Alright, great people, I hope you are having a great day, and if you are new to gardening or you're a beginner gardener, hey, you found a home. My name is Ricky Jones Jr. and I love doing videos that are tailored toward the beginner gardener. So if you are new to the channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that like button, and then let me know where you are growing from, okay? Yeah, I said that specifically in that order. But nonetheless, we are going to talk about one of the most beneficial vegetables that you should grow and that you can grow in your raised beds or in your front yard gardens or in your container garden, okay? Because you can do all of those various things, and that one happens to be the bean plant, okay? Let me even show you what I'm talking about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here is the bean plant. Now these are some like voluntary bean plants. I did not plant them, or in other words, I didn't plant them, but hey, these are what we have, which I'm excited about them. And so even as you all know and see, I do my square foot gardening and things like that in my raised beds, and it is said that in each square you can actually plant 9 bean plants, okay? But I did that before in this raised bed, and I don't recommend it because it was highly crowded. I did a video where I cleared all those things out, and you probably saw a lot of the dead beans and things like that because I wasn't able to get to all of the various beans. So 9 is probably too many. I think about 5 is your nice sweet spot. And so with beans and why they're so beneficial is because, of course, not only is it good for you as a human being, okay, they're fibrous, they have they're, you know, various type of beans, okay? You can go from black beans to all the way to chickpeas, which are like a tannish type color. So anyway, the color phenomenal, but at the end of the day, it's beneficial as well for your garden. And the main beneficial reason why it is beneficial for your garden is because as the beans soak in from the sun and from your nutrients, it fixes nitrogen into the soil, okay? Because beans require nitrogen to grow, and so as they soak in and absorb the nitrogen, it keeps it within the roots, and which of course we know the plants receive a lot of their nutrients from their roots, okay? And so as you have beans within your raised beds with other things that require nitrogen, such as your brassica family, which I love and adore, those are your collards, your kale, your Swiss chard, your broccoli, all those different things, the leafy green vegetables, okay? I even have some butter crunch lettuce, I think is what it's called. Even from your spinaches to your arugulas to all of your various green leafy vegetables, you would love and would benefit from having beans interplanted with them, okay? Also called companion planting. So that is so beneficial. Now I must say, I did not do a video on it. I did plant some bean seeds in this raised bed because of course in this one we have my tomatoes, my bell peppers. As you can see, I have some okra growing on the back row, which I didn't do a video for, but I did do it. And I also have some Brussels sprouts growing over here. So even just showing you how you can intercrop or companion plant with the beans for the beneficial properties, because things such as the bell pepper plants, the okra, Brussels sprouts, and other things like that are green as it grows. So of course, you know, most of everything in your garden needs nitrogen to some extent. Now, things like potatoes really do not benefit from having the beans with them or intercrop with them more than anything, because with more nitrogen with your sweet potatoes, which I'll even show you, I have some over here, it will have for your leaves to be nice and green, okay? But at the end of the day, we know what we eat from a sweet potato are the tubulars, which are the roots of the sweet potato. So I hear my sweet potato plants right here, which, you know, the leaves will grow nice and long, which I understand you can eat these bad boys and everything like that. But the tubulars, the part that we eat, the roots part, will not benefit from them. So if you want to eat some good sweet potatoes, you know, don't go for that. But if you want to eat the good leaves, go for it. Which I have a crazy leaf root system growing. Let me even show you that. So these leaves are growing a little bit of everywhere, truth be told. I mean, this one's a long one. The idea was them to grow over there on the trellis, but a lot is happening over here. I have some lemongrass. I have some other companion plants going on with the basil, Thai basil. But I mean, it's doing its thing. But anyway, we're talking about beans, right? So beans are one of those things that are very like versatile in the growth of them. And I say that to say, like, you can grow them in raised beds, you can grow them in containers, you can grow them in 5-gallon buckets, you can grow them in grow bags. You can grow beans in pretty much anything because they don't require too much at the end of the day. Now, when you do plant them, there's multiple ways you can plant them. You can either soak the seed for, you know, a day prior to you actually planting it in the soil, or you can just directly sow it, or you can plant it in seed starters and then transplant it when it has grown up. There's so many different ways that you can do it, and I advise on all the various ways. I've done a little bit of everything. I have an experiment that I was growing with the bean right here. It really didn't work out to my liking, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I might just dump it, call it a wash. But at the end of the day, I'm saying that to say, in my opinion, beans are one of the most beneficial vegetables that you can grow as far as with companion plantings or intercropping. Okay, now it said that beans, squash, and corn are one of the three sisters, or three something, like the big three. We're gonna call it the big three, which is a cool concept in the way that it does what it does, because the way they did it back in the day was that they would grow the corn first, and so the corn would grow with a nice long stalk, and then they would plant the beans, and then they would usually be pole beans, because you could have either pole beans or bush beans, which is something in itself, which I'll talk about after this. But with it, then the beans will grow up, and then they will plant the squash, because the squash will benefit from the bean growth with the idea of the nitrogen and all that, the beneficial qualities that it has. And so it just worked, right? And then the squash shaded the bean plants and then the corn plants, so that, you know, drought and things wouldn't take place with the soil, because they would be shaded and things like that. Like, it was harmony, okay? But those are the things that happen when you intercrop or companion plant with beans and other vegetables and things like that. Now, we start talking about the various type of beans. Now, you have bush beans and you have pole beans. My personal preference is bush beans, because I don't really have the trellis idea or the trellises to go for a whole pole bean situation, because pole beans will climb, they will grow, they will scatter, just as we saw over here with the sweet potato area, right? The sweet potato patch. Those leaves will go and grow and do those things just as the pole beans will do, okay? They will grow, they need a pole, they need something to trellis on and things like that. So as you are picking out your beans, you know, make sure, if you're like me, have the bush beans, because it'll grow like a bush, it'll grow like a bush and stay in its contained area, be locked into its fixed area, and you'll be good to grow, okay? And if you are even doing in a square foot area or a square foot way, you can do 6 per box. But at the end of the day, like I said, anything over 5 is probably extreme, okay? 5 is probably pushing it, but I would even do 5. I'm gonna do 5. I did 5 in this one over here, I did it in this one over here, okay? You didn't see it, boom. I did it in this one over here, and I did it in this one over here, in which I have some various varieties of bean plants that I purchased, which I'll put links below if you're curious to those things. But at the end of the day, beans are what you want to companion plant with this fall, okay? The more beans you have, it will be the better, not only for your belly, but also for your garden, okay? And speaking of garden, did you see the shirt? Gardening with me, gardening with me. This is the what's in your bed shirt, okay? Because I'm talking about raised beds and beans in the raised bed, okay? That was the logic behind the thought and all those things. But at the end of the day, I love you all. I appreciate you all. If you have any questions on companion planting, interplanting, or anything like that, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to definitely reach out and answer. It'll probably be a video. At the end of the day, I appreciate you all. We love you all, and it all. Make sure you garden, make sure you grow, have fun in your garden, try some new things, learn some new things, because at the end of the day, you'll enjoy what you do, what you have, and what you get to eat, because it'd be nice, fresh, and you know where it came from. Your garden. All right, so until next time, peace. Love you, great people. Ha ha.